Hello, everybody. It is our Tribe and Friends team call for February 18th. We are doing our first open mic night, so we are going to be sharing some questions and hopefully answers and any little quick tidbits that we thought would be helpful. I had to show you a freedom estimator, which I'll talk about in a second, and now it's locked on Facebook. I can't get it to open, but I'll explain what that is in a minute. I'm also going to show you some cool, easy graphics that help you check off the minimums you need for rank advancements, so you can save the ones that are interesting to you or that are of purpose for you, or save them all into your camera roll. They'll all be in Tribe Redefine, but just to go over a very quick basic of those rank advancements and then open it up to everybody else. I hope you guys had a wonderful March so far and a good St. Patty's Day. We did absolutely nothing St. Patty's Day yesterday. When it falls on a weekend and you're old but not old enough, it's kind of boring. I don't know. It's just like another day. But anyway, all right, so let me get to it. What I wanted to share with you, as I was going to talk about last week, Keyshawn Graves did a really cool training at NLC just about volume and the very basic way that we can help influence our income to make it more predictable for us. Since a lot of what we're making as independent Beachbody coaches at the stage that many of us are in is dependent upon our own sales. But when you can drive volume by building your legs, which we talked about very basically last week, then you can start to have a better picture of what your income, your bonus part of your income will look like. And then you can influence it yay or nay with your inclusion of sales. So there's something called a freedom estimator on Beachbody Champions page, but when I'm going to it now, it's asking me to put in my Facebook password again, and I can't get to it. So I'm looking for it, and I actually just sent Keyshawn a message because she said she was posting it there. I can't find her posting it. I find another coach posting it, and so it's taking me to like their team page and not the regular one. But what it allows you to do is to think backwards. So to put in what you would imagine to be your goal weekly or monthly income, and then figure out from there what your volume should look like and to help you do that. So it's a really cool, very basic tool that can help you with maybe your income goal or just to put a better handle on what it is you're going to need to drive your business. Since volume comes from our entire downline, not just ourselves, it can give you a nice little indicator of that. But what you want to think about is it's a 1-to-2 ratio in your two different legs. So just always making sure that you're trying to kind of double the one leg's volume on the other side will at least give you more potential for a bonus, because you cycle one time every time this has 100 and this has 200, and it just goes up from there. But anyway, the freedom estimator was very easy to figure out and very simple, and it explains a lot of this. And now, of course, when I was trying to get ready to share my screen, it's suddenly locking me out. But let me share with you very quickly these little graphics. They're super cute. Someone put them in our NLC push group, and I just liked how simple they were. So I am going to put them right into Tribe after our call. And so let me share my screen. I'm looking at them, but I'm not sharing them with you because I forgot that part of this. Here we go. All right, so the very, well, I don't know why it starts with Ruby. Where did the Emerald one go? Here we go. Emerald is the most basic rank, which everybody should be achieving. Everybody that's facing me on this call is already Emerald or above, but it is the most basic level for all of our coaches. That is when you have an active coach on both your right leg and on your left leg, active being key. So many of us, when we join the business, we get our mom and our spouse, or we get a sister and a friend to take those two spots. You want to continue to build past them if there's a chance that one of those people is not going to be active, especially if you're not controlling both of those accounts, which many of us do. I don't control my mom's account, but I do control Mike's. So I have direct control over him. But if my mom was ever to decide she doesn't need Shakeology, having that backup coach on her leg would be best. So after you get Emerald rank, one thing that I would recommend is the side that you are able to control. Save that for your fourth coach and put your third coach on the side you have no control over, so you have a little bit of a buffer. And you must have 50 PV points. Your Shakeology is above that, so if you're on Shakeology auto ship, then you should have no problem holding your Emerald rank. Then when you get your spouse to emerald, then you want to try to make sure that person has 50 PV. Remember that PV can also come from your customers. It doesn't have to just come from you. So floating a sale is good. So Ruby, as you notice, each rank advancement, the number of coaches you need increases, as well as the personal volume you need. So to be a Ruby coach, you must have 2 active coaches on the left and the right, 1 on emerald on your left, 1 on your right, and 75 PV. It's almost diamond, and it's still pretty. Rubies are pretty, so it's a good thing. Your diamond rank advancement, you must have 100 PV. So there are plenty of coaches who rank advanced to diamond who then aren't holding on to that 100 PV. Not to betray her secret, but this actually happened to Jess. She had Phil at diamond and then never she hit the 6-week qualification right before this, in week 5, she never put a sale under Phil and wasn't adding any coaches over there and actually lost that 6-week qualification and had to start again. This was way last spring, so obviously everything has worked out for her beautifully, but it just reminded me that it's very important when we're building on the legs of our spouses or our family members to try to make sure we can control this as best as we can. And then when you're 1-star diamond, which everybody should be shooting for, if you wanted to get to NLC, this is what you need to accomplish by November, which I know every single person that's facing me right now can do that easily. And I know it's not easy. I don't mean easily as in like tomorrow you should do this, but you are all capable of doing this. And I believe in you completely. 200 personal volume points. So remember, that's not just your purchases, but your own customers' purchases. I only order Shakeology on my account, and the rest of my PV comes from my customers, so I don't have a problem doing this. Not that I'm Star Diamond anymore. You must have at least 10 active coaches, and they must be dispersed evenly enough. So 4 must be on one leg and at least 4 on the other. If you have 6 and 4, that's fine. 5 and 5, that's fine. It can't be 3 and 7. So making sure you're keeping active coaches balanced is very important. You need to have a diamond in one of those business centers on either side and at least an emerald on the opposite side. So you have to have that balanced as well. And it just continues, right? So anyway, that's very simple, very basic. Where did you all go? Stop in my share. Cool. So I just thought those were easy graphics. As you get on from 1-star, the dispersion of your coaches really shifts, and it gets interesting how like a 5-star diamond, it needs to be 2 on one side and 3 on the other. It can't be 4 on one side and 1 on another and all of this place. So you'll hear coaches constantly rank advancing their diamonds, or you could hear on a national wake-up call, Ashley Mole said advanced 22 diamonds this year. Well, why isn't she a 22-star diamond? Well, because of the way they fall. And plus there is nothing beyond 15-star. That's the highest recognition you can get. But regardless, how many diamonds you advance, it doesn't matter if they're not spread out on the legs accordingly. So just keep that in mind, but look one goal at a time. So Teresa, look at 1-star, everybody else look at diamond, and just keep your eye on that prize. And it's it's a easier pill to swallow when you do that one at a time. So I'm going to put those graphics in Tribe. Thought they were nice and simple. Cut them out or print them out, glue them, put them as the background of your phone, whatever will make sense to you, so that you can just have a nice quick reference. So when you're checking your coach office, you don't have to memorize all of those stats. Okay, that's it for me. And once I get that estimator up and running, I will link that as well. It takes 2 seconds. You plug in your numbers and you have a nice little fun little tool. So I just want to leave it open. So anybody, you guys can unmute yourselves. If there's something that's really pressing, I think starting with our issues and then helping each other to kind of mastermind them. And then we can go into stuff that's working for us. And anything that we see, that we are doing well. So the floor is all yours. I mean, I've got plenty of problems, but you can talk. You're all still muted.
I would say just focusing sometimes, like I feel like sometimes when like set up a plan, I don't know. I need to like map things out. And
Teresa, it totally cut you out. I don't know if it cut you out for everybody, but it cut you out for me.
Probably me. It's probably my volume here.
Okay.
Can you hear me or no?
Now we can. It just said you keep freezing. But say what you said again.
No, I think one thing that I really need just to focus on, I don't know if anybody else is the same, is just like focusing, like having it mapped out. Like I know Jackie, you just put in the thread about like putting this time frame strictly on social media, and that's something that I want to just put into place is having a game plan for every
Mm-hmm.
single day.
Mm-hmm.
I try to, but sometimes I just get off
I
focus.
know. There was a really cool Leslie, do you remember it from Summit? It was what the heck is her name? She's blonde. They all are. Oh my gosh. It'll come to me. Brittany Leggett. Brittany Leggett Schumard. She shared her calendar with us and it blocked off times for different things. It's actually where I got my initial idea for all the different team calls that I had. And we've kind of pared them down and just made it one team call just because it was the same people showing up every time anyway. So like our team isn't big enough to have a runner's call and a this call and whatever. But she has a really cool time blocking calendar. I know it's in Tribe, so I will find it. Of course, I have all my notebooks, but I didn't grab a pen. Hold on.
I can look for it.
I'll make sure to bring it in. But what I did after she shared that is I actually have in my calendar reminders that come up on my basic free times during my day that tell me my activity that I should be doing. I've been ignoring them lately, and I actually was thinking to myself last night. I was coming up with my Sunday night game plan, and that's something on my list this week to revisit and to go back in and create those activities in that time. I love doing the power hours like Micah and whatever. I love those, but it's a lot of activity. And even she talks about that's not how her usual power hours look like. She batches, like she'll do all of one activity at a time. And what I liked about Brittany's is in it once a week, she has a creative time where that's when she's making her graphics and creating her newsletter. And like it's all blocked in there. And it's varied because she has a baby and she, has a husband that works and whatever. So like it's not every day it's the exact same, but it's every week this is where her hours fit in, and it really made a lot of sense, and it just gave me an idea of what kind of hours I should be spending. So
Yeah.
I'll be sure to make sure that that's more prevalent.
Like under units.
What's that? I don't know if I united it.
Okay. I'll look under files first. I can look.
Brittany Leggett. And it may have just been like me taking a photo of her PowerPoint.
I was going to say I took screenshots of her PowerPoint, and they even gave those little scanning things.
The QR
I don't
code.
know. Right. But I don't know if those still function, so I'll find it and then I can see if they function.
And sometimes the old Summit stuff is up on YouTube or in the Champions page or in the coach office too.
Okay.
So we'll take a peek. But it wasn't that. It was like really realistic.
It was.
Too, Teresa, I can't remember if you were on the call by this time when I've shared about this, but every Sunday night at 9 p.m. I have this same message that comes up. She had this idea too, and it just like comes up at 9 p.m. It's a reminder in my calendar, and it says, I am building a thriving business because I plan and prepare daily. I stay flexible in my daily business approach, but disciplined in my daily business activities.
Yeah.
And I love it. And it's just so whatever. And I read it every Sunday night at 9.
Yeah.
And that reminds me to sit down, make my plan. And it's a nice mantra. She just has a really cool approach.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Anybody else have ideas that are working for them for focus? I feel like right now too, there's so much happening. Sorry, Melissa. Like Ultimate Portion Fix just has me so like.
I'm glad. Like, I guess it makes me feel better. I know that I'm not the most active member on our team because I just like, I don't even know which way is up half of the time. And when I hear you guys like talking more about, your struggles, it just makes me feel better because like I said, I am a hot mess this year. I'm the hottest of hot messes I've ever been in my life because I just, like I said, I just don't have a place. And like, I can keep using it as an excuse, but I really, like now Rob is gone and I'm like, I'm gonna have so much more free time because like at nighttime, he's not here. But now that he's not here, I'm like, I'm so freaking tired. Like I can't even. So I guess like more of what Teresa said, like if I was working a full-time job, if this was my full-time job, I would be 100% dedicated to it all the time because it would be my source of income. But I guess my biggest concern, not concern, but I guess my biggest roadblock sometimes is that because Rob does not consider this a hobby. He would never put it like that, or he would never make me feel that way. But, my first priorities being a stay-at-home mom. Like, they're the number one priority. And so, like, does this make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like all of a sudden, oh my God, where did my day just go? I have plans, but they have other plans for me. And then I'm like, now it's 10 o'clock at night and I can't even think anymore. I've been up since 5 working out. Like, that's why I'm just so frustrated. And I think I know I'm disorganized. I know that I am. But even when I make a plan and I put 100% effort into trying to follow it, I'm like, I don't even know where my day just went. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah. That's what Brittany
I'm
says.
totally with you.
Right? So maybe when my kids are in high school, this will work out better for me. I don't know.
That's a really good plan.
And there's, oh, go ahead, Jackie. Sorry.
No, this is it's like a very small thing I do, but it makes me feel better when I am home with my kids on like breaks or summer. And I feel like I have less time when I'm home with them. So I'm like, where did my day go? I was home all day. I should have more time, but I think I have less time because whatever. But and I'm terrible about this and I'm trying to get back on it, is like I have my calendar and I make a to-do list, which is like silly, but even if it's like things that I know I'm going to do, like one thing, like fold the laundry, like things I know I'm going to get done. But I feel like when I write stuff down and I look at it and I cross off, oh, I did the laundry, I'm like, oh, there's that one thing I wanted to do, whether it's like a post or a Porsche fix. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that next. And it's like at least on my mind.
Yeah.
And then even if I don't do it, I'm like, okay, let me write my list for tomorrow. So that I need hearing this, I need to start doing that because I have the things I do every day, but then I'm like, oh, I meant to do these 4 things, but I thought about it on the weekend and then I totally forgot. So
you're so right. When I do write a list, I always do feel better. Always.
Yeah. Someone I follow on Instagram has their calendar and they write all their stuff for the day on their calendar for the week. Like they make their plan and then as they go, they cross stuff out and anything they don't do, they highlight and move over.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
It could be like, oh, all week I had to highlight and move over the same task.
And it just makes you feel more accountable to do it.
Yeah, I kept avoiding this one task, whatever it was. So then
That's your frog.
I can't do it during the week, so then I'm going to have to move it to Sunday mornings. So I'm going to try it. I don't know if it's going to work, but that's my plan.
There's two different thought process too, and it's funny because Nicole and Mindy and I were talking today separately because I reached out to them before I sent the message about tonight's call because I need to be real with everybody, and I kind of was talking to Leslie about this today too. I just got to a point this weekend, and it's not just with coaching, but just in my real life. I'm noticing it at school. I'm noticing it everywhere and it's my own doing. So this isn't me complaining, please understand, but it's just me realizing.
Girl, stop apologizing.
I am coaching all the time and I don't have a coach coaching me. And I realized that, and it's become very difficult for me to keep myself motivated and to listen to my own tips and points and and I was starting to feel like a hypocrite or that imposter syndrome in every area because I'm sitting at school and there's a new teacher and then my student teacher now is teaching for a woman who has health issues suddenly. So the two of them, any free period we have after school, they are in my room asking me 100 questions and I'm lesson planning with them and doing all of this. Well, when am I doing my own lessons and when am I doing my own stuff? And I'm running calls, and I don't want it to sound ungrateful, but it was just this weekend. It all started to it all hit me that I have positioned myself, which I love to be in that position, but I would love to have a coach too. Do you know what I mean? And so I reached out to Mindy and Nicole just because I feel like we're very similar in where we are business-wise in number of years and just our position in the downline and all that kind of stuff. And I just said to them, that's how I'm feeling. And I need them to coach me and I need to coach them. And I think the 3 of us need to be on the same page in that way and just kind of own that. But on the other side, there's the perspective. And that's why I wanted to give that backstory where I remember hearing it on a team, not a team call, a champions training or national wake up call one time, that if we want this to be our business and if it was our husband's business, and something happened in our family life, he wouldn't take time off to handle it, but we are easily taking time off from this to handle it. So it's two completely different perspectives, and deciding when each of those is appropriate, if this is a business for you. Do you know what I mean? So it's not our full-time job. It's not, for most of us, it's not a necessity. It's kind of a bonus. It's not a hobby either, but just deciding when, you know, my kids are first, or my teaching job is first, or whatever is first, but I believe in this and I'm going to carve out at least X number of minutes where coaching is first, or my challenge group is first, and just finding out what that mix is for you, you know, where there is that sacred time. But it's a hard balance. It's a hard balance. And I was feeling that moment today where I need to take control in other areas or give away control, give other people control, so that I can make more space for it, because I'm feeling like I was sacrificing too much for this, but not in the ways that are productive. And so I don't know, I just kind of talked in circles, but I know exactly what you're saying. And I can't always get my head around which side of that I need to be on. And I'm kind of
made perfect sense. Perfect sense.
I don't know. So
it's that being a mom is really hard. There's so many things constantly going on, and it's 1,000 jobs in itself. So when you want to do something for yourself, even if it's helping yourself or helping other people, and it's not your family, you just automatically feel guilty, and you feel like everything else should come first.
Yeah. I don't know. What else, ladies?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's how I was when I was stay-at-home mom. I completely gave everything to them. Like, that was everything. And that's where I'm in this spot now, where it's kind of like, who the heck am I? Like, so just make sure you take that time. Like, as a mom, as a woman, like, I'm just saying, like, as hard as it is, it's so much harder, I think, when you get to this point and you're like, who am I? And like, what happened to me, you know? So
I hear that.
Share that. So make sure that you do, like, all of you, like, make sure you take that time for yourself, because it's so important. It really is. Yeah.
I agree. I saw that with my mom. Jackie, how are you doing?
I'm alive. No, when I was listening to that podcast this morning on the way to work, it was good. It was all like, if you feel like you're on your phone all the time, then you're just feeling guilty, and you need to like figure out like what boundaries you want to set. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't really have any time to set boundaries, because if I do have 5 minutes, I need to do something. So I called my husband and I was like, I need to set boundaries. He was like, I didn't say that to you. I'm like, I know, I'm saying it before you say it. So I was like, well, what kind of time can I do? So I'm like, you know what? I get home from work and I repack lunches and I usually do some stuff. I'm like, that's it. I'm going to give myself an hour when I get home from work to just be with you guys, whatever that looks like, because that hour is not going to make or break me. And it will make me feel like I at least did like that for my family. And then that's it. So I'm going to try that. I have a lot of things on my list to try. I don't know if any of them are going to stick.
But that's how you find what does stick.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And you know how many times they say this with diets, with workout programs, with whatever, the program that works, the tracking system that works, the calendar that works, the whatever that works is the one that works for you. And you don't know what works for you until you try it. So that's important. I like it. It's funny because I always listen to Melanie say that, and Bonnie Engel, and like all these coaches. I had to unfollow Bonnie Engel. She was making me nuts. But they all talk about how you don't need to be a slave to your phones, and they did the business the wrong way. I'm like, yeah, but look where it got you. Yeah. You can say that now that you have 7 assistants and an empire.
Well, she was also talking about, she was like, I have my work hours at my desk from this to this. And I was like, okay, well, that must be nice. No one has that. I don't know anyone who has that, at least. So.
I know. It's so funny, but it is important. It really
Well,
is.
We'll get there.
One of the things that comes on my phone at 3:30 says unplug. I don't know the last time I actually listened to that when it shows up, because that used to be when I'd have to rush home and get kids off the bus at 3:05. But now that they're in aftercare, I'm like, I haven't even picked them up at 3:30. Why am I unplugging? So, Brittany, did you have your baby yet?
Oh my God. Anyone else looking at Brittany for a half second thinking, oh, I want another baby? Just for a half second.
No.
I'm not, but you make it look good, Brittany.
Thanks. I'm ready for sure. Yeah, I felt very, very like just in a funk with blood. So everything y'all were saying, I was like, I feel that, but it might just be because I'm pregnant.
You feel everything more when you're pregnant.
Yes, that's true.
I love it. I love it. How's our little lady over there? How's her business?
Violetta is going to be doing the ultimate portion fix with me.
Ooh.
That is awesome.
Isabella does not want to.
I did bust out the coloring sheet for Avery.
Yeah.
She did eat a whole bite of pulled pork tonight, so it's a big night in our house.
Going to be your challenge. If you can get her to eat, you're going to win over a lot of people on Instagram.
See, she's working.
Boss babe in training.
This is not Violetta's unplugged business time.
It should be her bedtime.
Don't worry, we'll keep it clean while she's here.
I hear the stampede upstairs, so it seems like everything's under control here. It's not.
Are you solo?
It's not. I love it. What's working for everybody? What's one thing that's working?
I think for me, when I do one of those focused power hours, that really helps me. Like it gets me to check everything off and I'm done. Like I'm not done, but I feel like I've accomplished a lot more than I would have in the little pockets, because my pockets are very small.
Small pockets are good.
I quit it. Do you see what I mean?
I feel like I'm looking in the mirror.
Yeah. I think a thing too for me is like right now is a really stressful time for me, but focusing on this is
Your sanity.
yes, exactly.
Could be my
And it makes
daughter's
me feel good to be able to help other people that are dealing with stress and struggle, and I think that's why I'm doing this. To have stinky feet in my face.
I was just gonna say, no feet involved.
How lovely.
Oh, I love it. Teresa, what's working for you besides everything?
Say my file system. I love it. The index file card system. I absolutely love it.
Sorry, that too for me. That's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. I actually just ordered one last night on Amazon.
Like if anybody's not doing it, you need to try it. It's freaking amazing. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself.
I think if you're a pen and paper kind of person, like it's just nice to organize everything in one little spot, including you have all the information, all your conversations. If you ever need to go back to it, it's all written. Like if you track that stuff, and I think tracking is so important for that reason. But like if somebody comes to me, I can pull that card out and be like, oh, well, I remember when you said this, when we had this conversation, and this was what you were struggling with. So why don't we maybe focus on this? And if they are struggling with something that they're a challenger, you can pull that out and write down like what program they did. So in a couple of years, like it'll be really nice and they'll be like, wow, you remembered that. But it's just a nice little organization thing that I absolutely love.
I love it. That's one of my big to-dos this week. Hopefully it comes in this early enough. I love it.
It actually really helps me with remembering to follow up more frequently with people because I was not doing that. Like I was going from like my papers, like tracking, going back, and I'm like, oh, did I, when was that? Like, not that I didn't write the date down, but this is like you put their card in the 20th. So in 3 days, 2 days, I'm going to follow up with them. And I go into that date, I'm like, oh, I have to follow up with these people. Like it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a tickler file. I don't know why I never thought of doing it. You know,
And a tickler.
tickle the feet.
Oh my God.
I love it. Jackie, what's working for you?
I don't know. I don't know what's working for me. I think everything's okay. I don't know if anything's like really working.
You're working.
I mean, I'm trying, but I don't know that I found my groove in anything.
I haven't, and I've been doing this for 3 years.
Yeah. I'm really going to focus on a calendar because I've been doing some lunchtime powwows, which has been nice because now my best friends work out at lunch. So, like, I don't feel like I'm missing out on chatting with them. So I've been like trying to do some power hours at lunch, which is helpful because it's like a dedicated time. But, you know, then work stuff gets in the way that I'm trying to do at lunch. So I like haven't figured out how to not lose my job, but also do this. So
I know Teresa is always on, like when I am on the powwow, and she'll like smile at me, and I'm like, because I'm in the middle of study hall and trying not to be like. Today I was typing into the chat, and the kid came over to like get a tissue. I'm like, because I have the screen down. I'm like, he's gonna like, what if he tells?
Whenever I see a black screen, I know somebody came around the corner.
Oy vey.
Yeah.
Oy vey. Melissa, what's working for you? Something's working for you, sister.
No, nothing's working for me, sister.
But you're working.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm same thing. I try.
How was Texas?
Not good because I'm still houseless, and the saga continues on. But I mean, I guess what does work for me if I do a dedicated power hour, and I really think just being patient because every month that I hit Success Club, it's never somebody that I mean, sometimes it is, but most of the time it's people I've talked to in the summer or in the fall who I just continuously followed up with, and then, you know, just like when they're ready, or you just did that follow up to connect with them for, you know, something you saw on Facebook, and then they're like, you know, I think I'm kind of ready for that now.
Yeah.
So I think that's just, it's sometimes for me, what I've noticed the most is you just always have to be patient and persistent. And all of those no's that you get almost always turn into a yes. So I think
so
that
true.
works.
That's so true.
And I like the power hours so much because I feel like focused. And I even wrote like in my notebook, like one of the first time I ever did the power hour, I wrote down like every step that she had said. That way, if I have to break it down, I have my notebook and I just like open it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do like these 4 sections right now. And later I'm going to come back and do these 4 sections. And I mean, I know like Beachbody has all of that stuff too, but it's something I just really like Micah a lot.
I do too. I agree. Just be a boss.
Yeah.
I like can quote, you know, we all probably can quote along with her. She's like the autumn of my power hours.
Yeah. And how's everybody doing with what module is everybody on? Probably like 4.
No, we're all just Jackie, Leslie, and I finished module 2.
Okay. I mean, they're easy to watch and stuff, but it's like time consuming. I'm like, okay, when am I fitting this in? But I like everything she's saying. So interesting. I mean, it's all stuff we knew already, obviously, but I just love her. She puts it in such a great way that's just like, duh, why wouldn't you want to do this?
Her examples
like a
are
boss.
amazing.
What was
When
that, Teresa?
Sorry, Teresa, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I just finished watching the sugar addiction module. When she brought over the trash can of sugar, I was like,
Ugh.
that's disgusting. I'm appalled.
When my question came up on the quiz, I'm like, 40 pounds.
So gross.
Just like feet. What were you saying, Teresa?
I just love the way she explains everything. And I think that's something that is relatable. And when we are able to do that now, and I'm just excited. Like, I've had so many moms that I've been able to talk to about like doing this with their kids and not just for them. And I literally just took one of the containers and took 32 teaspoons of sugar, and it almost filled up a whole green container, because that's apparently what kids consume in a day, and just like poured it out. So I have that to post a little later. But like, I think those visuals that she has is so
Yeah.
important to share that. And when you get to the end, she shares a lot of like social media posts. I just listened to all that today, and
The visuals for the social media posts were really good.
They were really good.
so good.
So good.
I loved and just the resources in the workbook pages and stuff. We shared a couple in our challenge group this week because they very oddly coordinated with parts of Mastering Your Mean Girl, because she does a lot of it is about health and your relationship with food and the things we tell ourselves that make us then go eat cookies and like, well, I had one cookie, I'm already just, and I'm gonna eat all the French fries and just like that kind of stuff. And we shared a lot about the action activity, like, or the emotion activity worksheet, the finding your why, those different things. They're just really simple and make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
She's good. She cares because she's competitive. So she wants this to be better than 2B mindset. She wants it to be better, and she'll just keep making it better.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really good. Did you guys listen to the National Makeup Call yet? It was good. They just, when I don't know, I get the price and I get everything. And one thing I don't think I shared with you guys, I don't know if I still have if I even took a picture of this. They had a panel, 2 different panels at NLC that related to this. One, they had Isabella come out and talk about Shakeology. But then they also had, I forget what they're called. I don't know. They're like I don't want to get it wrong. Anyway, they're like the quality control people, right? And they shared with us the number of tests that Shakeology and all the ingredients go through. And they referenced it on the call today, and it reminded me of that. But they turn away ingredients all the time if anything does not pass this test. And I think it was that a bag of Shakeology goes through, it's like 171 quality control tests before it is sent to us. Every single bag. I think that was the number. And it's every single ingredient, every single manufacturer, and not just one time, but every time the shipment comes in, it's tested and it's retested, and it's just like, it's crazy. And that's why we'll go through periods where maybe a flavor is off market or maybe something is, back ordered, and it's not to piss us off or because they didn't do a good job anticipating the quantity of product. It's because they will only produce everything that's top grade. And it just was really cool to see. I have to figure out what it was called, but it was just really, really awesome. So when they talk about the value, there really is such value. It's just very true. I will find it. Anyway, anybody else? Quality assurance journey. It's just really neat. There's the validation process, the innovation process, the validation process. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's really cool.
I feel like every live event I go to, it just like encourages my commitment to Shakeology, and like gives me like the voice behind it, because I'm committed for myself, but like how to share it with people because even in Mexico last year, they had like a little breakout thing, which is optional, and it was about Shakeology, and they talked a lot about that stuff too. And it's just, you just see the value and how much work they put behind it, and the integrity. That's the word I use a lot when I tell people about it, is like how much integrity they have in creating it.
Yeah. Let me see. There are 60 samples taken per bag too. Maybe that's what we're paying for. Just kidding. I don't know. It's quite crazy what they're able to accomplish and what they believe in. And like when Isabella says that she refuses to have the product quality compromised, and I don't know. Plus, I just like when they talk about husband and wife because they make me a little nervous. I feel like they're on the outs, and I don't want them to be on the outs. But that's my own personal philosophy on them. All right, let's do an action. It's time. I just realized what time it is. We could talk forever. What I would like for everybody to do is to think of a struggle that they would like to share on Instagram before they go to bed. Maybe it could be something that our little coaching pod solved today. Maybe it's something portion fix related. One of the things that I was thinking of sharing before we got on the call, but now I might talk more about just my business struggle and actually be really honest about the need for a coach. And I think that might be treading a little dangerous waters about sharing that publicly, but you know, so goes it. I was going to talk about my need to go want to eat some craisins right now because I'm tired and hungry and stressed by Kellen, but I'm not going to emotionally eat like that. But share a problem. What's that?
I said your emotional eating is freaking craisins.
I know, but to be fair, I already ate half of a bag today.
I'm just teasing you, but most people do craisins. I
know, but I'm gonna poop my pants tomorrow because I ate so many damn craisins. So it's like, I know. Luckily, Kaden made a batch of brownies yesterday, but she's been watching too much baking shows, so she decided to put ingredients in the brownies, and they were like so bad. So, or else I'd be wanting one of those. But they were like, she put strawberries and blueberries, like all these things that you would think. But it just changed the whole consistency of the batter. It's just awful.
Does she like them?
No one does. But no one will like actually admit that we don't like them. So they're just still sitting there. That's just bad. But anyway.
Throw out a few and tell her you ate them.
At this point I would eat them. I'm so annoyed. But anyway, but share it either in stories or as a post before you go to bed with a plan for resolving it. So maybe Jackie wants to talk about her lists and her calendar. Maybe Melissa's going to talk about just trying to find her feet and not knowing where they're going to be, but just being optimistic with that. Leslie can talk about what it feels like to have feet in your face. I don't know. Whatever kind of problems you've got. We've all just talked about some, and if you can't think of anything that we just talked about to share, then share about something ultimate portion fix related. But share about a problem, share about your plan for resolution. Remember, people appreciate our journey just as much, if not more, than they appreciate our look at me stuff. So when we can be a come with me girl rather than a look at me girl by sharing our problems, it's very relatable. So do that. And then while you're at it, follow 5 people. I don't care where you find them somewhere. I'm out of ideas. All right. I didn't take a picture. I'm going to take a quick picture.
Oh, wait, let me get my face ready.
Your face was grand this morning. Awesome. Ooh. All right, cool. Love you guys. And thanks for being on. Oh, it's still, yep, we're going to stop recording.